like that. That is the end of the 23-24 season. Yeah, it feels pretty surreal because I swear this season has absolutely flown by. And you think to yourself, if we had like one more month, at least 2 more months, I think we guarantee a Champions League spot, because the way we ended things in the 2024 season, there's a lot to work with. There's a lot of improvement. There's a lot of promise. And I think we end the season now on a very hopeful note for the future. Hopeful because we have players returning back. We've seen glimpses of what we've been missing out on throughout the season. Hopeful in the sense that we are set to buy some very big players. The recent signing of Esteval Willian shows you the ambition we have for the future. Let's see who else we bring in during the summer. And hopeful in the sense that it seems like finally Pochettino has been able to find a way now to get the best out of this team and produce a consistent style, a way of playing that the players now are responding very well to, hence the great performances we are seeing at the moment. I think there's a lot of hope towards the future right now. It's been a very up and down season, a lot of downs, a lot of lows, but equally some great highs. And considering that this is the foundational year of this team, a very young, put together team where most of these guys have been at the club for less than 12 months. They've had to form a bond, form a team spirit, form that unity. And I do think that Pochettino can definitely leave this season with his head held high, considering that he has been able to get us up this table. Winning 5 games on the bounce. Only Arsenal and Man City have shown this form recently. So it's definitely a lot to take forward to in the future. In terms of this game, was it necessarily one of the best games we've seen? Absolutely not. Was it an entertaining game? It was. Did it have a spectacular moment? Yes, it did. And I feel like I want to discuss this now because Moises Caicedo's goal, my lord, what an absolute genius goal. If there was one player in particular up there alongside Cole Palmer, it has to be Moises Caicedo as one of the most improved players in the team. I love when he got his new trim. I love this like Super Saiyan Caicedo I'm seeing, because I think it definitely reflects the confidence in which he's feeling and playing with right now. Because I'll tell you this, in this game in particular, there was a game in which Caicedo was on the field and there was a completely different game once he was off the field. But that goal he scored, in that moment, to have the confidence right then and there to attempt that shot, a tiny bit of backlift behind him, laces, puts like a little bit of backspin on that as well. That was a very difficult goal to score under the circumstances and context of that moment on the field. And the fact that he attempted that tells you everything you need to know about why we felt so confident investing the money we did to sign him to begin with. Because I really feel like Caicedo, with how he has ended this season, with how he's affecting the game for us, I think his passing, I've always liked his passing this season, but now it's becoming an integral part of the team. A very integral part. And I do think that him and Enzo next season, when Enzo comes back fully fit, I think they could be a pretty, devastating midfield too. And I just think Caicedo deserves a lot of credit for how he stepped up and ended this season as one of the best players. Easily one of the best players. And I just think that there's a lot more to come from this guy in the future right now. And I'm just really impressed because it's been quite rocky for him this season. He's had difficulties with injuries, with form, with confidence, but he's stepped up so well, and I think he deserves so much credit for that. And I'm really excited now to see what Caicedo can offer us in the future now, because I think he has potential to be one of the Premier League's leading midfield players now. Outside of that, I felt like in the first half, that's when we played our best football. We were very confident in our approach. We had many opportunities in the transition against Bournemouth. I was looking at Madueke. I really liked his strong carries. He was really riding challenges, carrying us up the field, linking up well with Cole Palmer. I thought that was quite good. I thought Nicholas Jackson, I liked how he was kind of like interchanging with Raheem Sterling. Sometimes he'd be up front and Sterling would be on the left-hand side, and then sometimes Sterling's up front and Nico is on the left, just like running those channels. And that's what Nico Jackson brings. I thought it was like an overall good game from him. Yes, he never got that goal, but I do think that there is an impact that Nico brings in terms of how he's, a willing runner in the channels, how he looks to find teammates. He was unlucky not to get an assist today because I think he set up a few, throughout this game, especially in that second half. And I think someone should have taken advantage of this guy's selfless work for the team. I thought there were some good performances as well too from a few of the other players, but Not gonna lie, the second half, things kind of just like tempered off. Now, it was a great start to the second half. You know, Raheem Sterling scoring really early on from like the 47th minute. Just kind of weaved through one challenge. No pressure from Bournemouth. A player like Sterling's gonna run towards goal. And he was able to just like slide tackle the ball into the like bottom left corner. You're thinking 2-0, okay, is it gonna be 3? Is it gonna be 4? Are we gonna end the season on an absolute high? But literally like a minute and a half later, Bournemouth make a 2-1 from a pretty sloppy own goal. And I do think that credit goes to Bournemouth because they stepped up in the second half. I thought their use of the flanks was a lot more dangerous. They caused us a lot of issues. And, you know, it's no surprise that they were able to come back in the game and put some pressure on us. Now, I do feel like at times, I just have to keep it real. Listen, I appreciate that Cucurella has stepped up. He has. But in terms of just like his ability to defend 1v1, I think it's a major weakness in my opinion. If there's another thing I noticed in this game too, is that he allows too many men in behind him on the far post too often. He's not alert. And I say this because like the very best defender I've seen when it comes to defending your far post and what's behind you was Ashley Cole, followed then by Cucurella. So they're the standards that I've been used to seeing being a Chelsea fan. And I do think that Cucurella kind of falls below them. He does have his merits. Very mobile, good character, likable person. Let's keep things real. But I just think defensively, I feel like he does give hope to the opposition. If you're a right winger, especially if you cut inside with the left foot, you're going to have so much fun against Cuckoo because he just sells exactly what he's about to do time and time again. And it's no surprise why he gets skipped past and skipped past and skipped past. I just felt like maybe he could have been a bit better in that moment that led up to the second goal. Obviously, Badiashile, you know, I thought he could be a bit more assertive with the block. But I just think that when you have Cucurella playing left back sometimes, I think it encourages that right winger to attack his fullback and go down that flank. And from the best moments that Bournemouth had today, a lot of it came from that right flank. And I don't know, I've just been noticing second half of the season, you know, teams focus their plays down the right because they know that nothing's getting past anyone on the left hand side. And I don't know. I don't want to end things on a negative note, but it's something I noticed. And let's see who we sign as a left back this summer. It must be someone pretty big. I hope it is. But outside of that, though, this is a game we're going to remember for the final farewells. It was great to see Thiago Silva start the game today. In my preview, I thought, ideally, I wanted him to start the game, but I was thinking, would Pochettino would that be a risk if he did that? Would that be him picking him for sentimental reasons? It's a good thing I was wrong because I felt like if it's his final day here, he had to start this game. And there were nice little moments of that composed play that we've been loving from Thiago Silva since he signed from us. He's going to be a big miss, especially with all the young talent we're bringing in. I do feel like that type of experience, the respect that he brings as well too, you know, it's going to be a massive loss to this dressing room. I think he's been one of our best signings. We've signed him on a free. And I still think to myself, all those seasons we signed him back, he's now played over 150 games for us. Who would have thought that his legacy would be lasting this long? But yeah, I feel like I'm definitely going to do like a reaction video to Thiago Silva this month just to show some respect to a guy that I've really grown so fondly of. And I hope he comes back to the club in some capacity because we need some football people within our structures, especially people that have been playing with us and understand the club from within as well. So he will be a massive loss. Good luck to Thiago Silva at Fluminense. And I guess we also potentially say goodbyes to maybe your Conor Gallaghers and your Trevor Jalabers. Now, yes, I know that they aren't like guarantees to leave, but we've known for a long time we're looking to cash in now to reinvest back in the team. And Gallagher just hasn't signed a contract extension. But I feel like he leaves here with his head held high because Gallagher has constantly been scrutinised. He's constantly been on the chopping blocks every single window. January, summer, consecutively now. And actually, I think this is the thing that has made him a better football player. It's made him mentally stronger. It's made him technically stronger. And it's made him more assured behind his game and what he brings and what he does. I feel like if there was one season in particular which really defines who Gallagher is, this was the season. Because, you know, it's the intangible things that Conor brings that doesn't get respected enough. But the teammates love you for. And I think one of the moments which really typifies why I like Gallagher, and sometimes, I think people don't understand when I like him. It's not because he's the most skillful player and I'm like pretending he's like a Zidane or a technical genius. Absolutely not. But I appreciate him for what he does, who he is, and what he brings. And that moment in the end, that slide challenge he made, yes, Solanke should have made it 2-2. But that was such a decisive tackle, decisive last-ditch slide tackle, which completely put off Solanke afterwards on that rebound, that I was just like, wow, what a moment from him. Because you've got to think to yourself, he doesn't really owe us anything. He might not be here for next season. He doesn't have to do that. I've seen many a player over many seasons where they were allowing runs in behind for fun because it wasn't their responsibility, yeah? So why did they have to do that? Especially when they knew they weren't going to be here in the future. And they're entitled to that, and I don't even see them as a villain. But the fact that Connor, in that 95th minute, is there, in that moment, making that tackle. No one else is there. That desire, that mentality, that never say die attitude. These are the things that make the whole group, the squad, stronger. Having characters like this. I keep saying he's one of the fittest players in this country. How many players do you see that have that desire to eat yards up in the final moments of games? You're seeing him press man in the opposition half, and you're seeing him back in our own books with last-ditch tackles to help the team. They're the type of like priceless players that make the group stronger. That's how I honestly feel. And I just think that he came in today wanting to score a goal, hence why he kept taking shots. At times a bit selfish, but you know what? I understood the context. I was okay with that. But the fact that he was like, listen, even though I haven't been fully appreciated here, I love this football club and I'm leaving here with 3 points to guarantee us Europe. That moment in the end for me really summarizes what Gallagher is and what he's been for us this season. He's been the glue for the team, and I think it'll be a big miss in the squad. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the club are like, we'd be kind of stupid to be letting this guy leave for peanuts in his last year of his contract when we can at least give him a contract extension so he can remain here and boost his value at least, right? Let's see how it goes. But my friends, you know what? To end with things, it's great that we end the season with Europe. I think it's just great for the foundations of this young team. I just think that there've been so many highs and lows, but we've been able to rise above them. And the fact that after that FA Cup semi-final disappointment, the team had enough in them to still compete, to still understand there is something left to play for. And to do that, it's been a great response, especially when it wasn't easy getting battered by Arsenal. You know, that was us at one of our lowest moments this season. But to come back, to be united, to show quality on the ball, because that's what us fans want to see. We want to see that quality football. We want to see the players stepping up. We want to see those moments. They've offered that. They've produced that. And I really think that normally when you see how teams end a season, it gives you great confidence in terms of how they're set to start a new season. And I think that there is some momentum now that we can carry forward. There is a team now that is coming. There is an understanding. I'm seeing improvements everywhere, from the communication, from how we're creating opportunities, to actions players are showing, you know, playing for the team now instead of being individuals. How compact we are as a unit on and off the ball. These are all great, promising signs that we're seeing that can be improved upon even more during pre-season. Pre-season should be great for us now, knowing that maybe a few of the players now that were hoping to book national team spots for this summer's Euros won't be joining. This gives us even more confidence now for next season, because they have even more time now to be there on the first day of pre-season and start working and focusing on getting Champions League. And who knows, maybe even competing for the title for next season. It might be too ambitious, but you know what? We see what the summer brings, we see who we sign, and we take forward and continue the great work that was shown. Because I'm now starting to feel like, after having so many differing thoughts and opinions on Pochettino, that maybe Poch is the man for this stage of the team right now. I think Gus getting maybe silverware next season and a guaranteed Champions League spot is a great sign of success. And then we take things forward from there. So my friends, this is the final match review of the season. We have beaten Bournemouth 2-1, and we end the season on a very promising note. So thank you to everyone that's shown so much love throughout the season. Yeah, it's been a crazy season, as most seasons tend to be, but at least the season is a lot more promising than the 22-23 season. And at least we end the season knowing that we're seeing the starts now of a new Chelsea team that's forming, and a new Chelsea team now that's ready to show the Premier League what they're about from next season forward. So my friends, hit that like button, share your thoughts and opinions, and I hope you guys have a great Sunday. I will see you all with some more videos. Take care, and forever up the Chelsea. Cool.